All right, so if you remember back in one of our earlier vignettes, we talked about the importance of explaining why when we're in front of the team to get them to engage and stay committed. So I want to talk a little bit more about that and expand it a little bit and talk about what I would call the 5 legitimate whys. There may be more, but these 5 usually cover most of them. Let's start with maybe a more fun way to come at it, and that is with what I would call not legitimate whys. So asking somebody to do something by saying, do it because I said so, or do it because I'm your boss, or do it because I write your performance review, those don't qualify as legitimate whys. They're not very engaging. So let's talk a little bit about this. Most of these are pretty straightforward and somewhat obvious. Some are not so. First one, probably the most obvious one. Do it because customers want this. It's part of what they would ask for. It drives top line revenue. That's why we do it. Next one would be the bottom line reason. Do it because it makes us more productive. And by doing so, it improves our bottom line. Third one, a little less obvious, and has to do more in the finance area. And there are certain things we do because it keeps our cash flow position nice and strong. So whether it be delaying payments to vendors or whatever it might be, at any given time, we want to have a good, strong cash position so that we can make moves quickly if we have an acquisition that we like, et cetera, et cetera. So cash flow reasons. The next 2 are a little less obvious. So one that many of us deal with is regulatory. So there might be things we do, and the real reason we do it is because it's required by a regulatory agency, so we have to do it. Next one is more around our image in the greater community. So there are certain things we do from a corporate social responsibility standpoint that we find that are worth doing, and they might even actually negatively impact our bottom line, but it's worth it to drive our reputation in the community up. So that's another, probably what I call the 5th reason why. There's one that's kind of becoming more and more important of late as we become more and more of an information society, and that's risk management. So there are certain things we do from an IT system standpoint and a security standpoint that don't really help our top line, don't really help our bottom line, et cetera, but we do it to protect our intellectual property, et cetera, or protect our systems. So that could be also a legitimate why. That's it. Those are probably the 5 or 6 what I would call legitimate whys. And the more you can hit on those as you get in front of people, the more you drive engagement, the more you drive follow through and commitment from them.